Okay, well, out of respect for everybody's time, I think we'll get started. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending today's neighborhood meeting regarding the construction of a new water line in University Estates. My name is Laura Kaifas, and I'm with the Neighborhood Services Office. I'll be helping out with hosting today's meeting. Today's meeting is being recorded and will be posted to the website tempe.gov/water project updates. So first, some introductions. Joining us today from the city, we have Terry Pecars, the Director of the Municipal Utilities Department, Tara Ford, who serves as the Deputy Municipal Utilities Director for the Water Division. We have Mark Weber. He's a Principal Civil Engineer with Water Utilities. And Robert Lewis. Robert is the Water Utilities Operation Manager. And then Jerome Guzman. Jerome is the construction manager. He's in engineering and he serves as the construction manager from the city on this project. I'll hand it over to Jerome for a sec here and he's going to introduce our construction team. Go ahead, Jerome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Yet, like Laura said, my name is Jerome Guzman, and I am the construction manager for this project. I'd like to introduce our team, our construction team that's in the field. These are the people that are going to be doing the actual work on a day-to-day basis. If there's a question or concern that comes up during the course of the construction project, these are the people that I reach out to address any issues or concerns. First, I'd like to introduce Cliff Williams with CWC Engineering. He's our consultant in the field. He's watching the day-to-day operations as pipe is being put into the ground, excavation, and the restoration for the project. In addition to Cliff, we have Abby Good. Abby is with Aiken Gardner, along with Brian Froelich with Aiken Gardner. These are our contractors in the field that will be doing the work. And these people are the people that I reach out to when there is a question or concern that comes up during the course of this project. So, like I said, my name is Jerome Guzman. If you do one thing today, take my name down. And if there is something that comes up during the course of this project, you can reach out to me, and I can reach out to this team, and we can address your concerns. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Jerome. Okay, before we get started, some information on how to participate. After the presentation, we'll have a question and answer period. You can either type your question in the chat or in the Q&A, and I will read them for the team to answer. Or you can raise your hand and I will unmute you so you can ask the question yourself. If your question is related to a specific slide, you may want to jot that slide number down to facilitate the discussion. So raise your hand, find your name on the participant list, and hover over it. The hand icon will appear. Click on it. This will put the icon by your name. You can click it off once your question has been answered. If you're on your cell phone, please click the chat bubble. Okay, I think that covers it. Terry, over to you for some comments.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Terry Pecars, Municipal Utilities Director for the City of Tempe. We appreciate you attending this neighborhood meeting tonight and your interest in this project. Tonight's presentation is intended to provide you with information on what you can expect in your neighborhood over the coming months and to give you a chance to meet our project team. As Laura mentioned, feel free to use the WebEx chat feature to ask questions during the meeting and provide us with your input, and also there will be an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the presentation as well. So a couple quick things about the project. Municipal Utilities and Engineering and Transportation partner on infrastructure replacement projects such as this one to plan, execute, manage such efforts efficiently, professionally, and with minimal adverse impacts to the community. As a city and a water utility, we're tasked with managing the community's water and wastewater assets and infrastructure in the most cost-effective manner. This includes the process of systematically developing, operating, maintaining, updating, replacing, and disposing of assets in consideration of all costs, risks, performance attributes, etc. We take this responsibility seriously and appreciate your continued support and involvement as we conduct the activities necessary to ensure delivery of water services to the Tempe community now and into the future. And with that, I believe I'm turning it back over to Jerome to commence with the presentation by Abby and Mark. So Jerome or Laura. Thank you.
Mark, were you going to say a few words first, and then I believe Abby?
Yes, this is Mark Weber with the Water Utility. I was just going to go, if I can get the slide to advance. There we go. So I'm going to quickly, briefly go over the replacement program summary and a little bit of background on our system before we turn it over to Abby to talk about the actual details of the project. So the city of Tempe has approximately 850 miles of water line in the system. It's comprised of 3 main material types: cast iron, asbestos cement, and ductile iron pipe, with a small portion of steel transmission main. When we look at our replacement program, we look at pipe age, the material type, and then one of the bigger things we look at is break history throughout the city as we go through the program. Little background on the current program: we started in fiscal year 2015. We've currently replaced up to 28.5 miles of water line to date, and this project is about 10 miles. This is just a graphic representation of the break history from 1998 to present. We've had over 1,100 breaks in the system over that time period, and the green bars is the cast iron pipe, which is the primary material we're replacing currently, since it's the highest break material in our system. The last slide here just shows the project area, which is 13th Street and Apache, Rural, Broadway, and Hardy. And then it shows the lines we're going to be replacing, and the little X's you can see on the screen are all the breaks within the neighborhood, within the area that we're placing. We've had 94 main breaks prior to start of construction. We've had a few since construction started. So there's been a few more added to that together. Now I'll turn it over to Abby.
Thanks, Mark. So on your screen right now, for everyone who's on their computer and can see this, or your phone, I don't know how many people have their phone app up, is just a basic outlay of what a street looks like. Underneath your road, it's showing that you have your storm super, your sewer main, and your water main. So that's about what looks like underneath the road. We're going to be coming in and replacing the water main on the roads that were shown on the map. Mark, if you'll go on to the next slide. And I'm just going to do a basic overview of what our steps are. So the first step is to come in and we're going to pothole the location for all the underground utilities, because as you can imagine, we can't really see exactly where those lines are under the street. So we'll dig, we have our Vector truck come in and they'll do a small hole so we can make sure that where we believe, for example, the storm sewer is, it actually is there. You'll also see us come in, we're going to use that pothole machine, those trucks that will, your water meter on your property will make it a little bit bigger of a hole. So right around the edge of the box, we'll back truck around there. And that way we know where your service is located. Once we've gone through and we've potholed the locations, we're going to do the saw cutting, which you can see on the screen now. We'll come in and we will have that blade go through and cut the asphalt and get it all ready for our excavation crew, which is what will come next. So this is a picture showing the typical excavation. Once that asphalt is saw cut, you'll see our crews come in and we'll dig a trench going down the main line. A few people already know where our trench is going to be on Encanto because we painted that out today. This is another example of our trench that you'll see our guys, it's about a 4-foot deep trench. They'll dig it down and they'll start putting the new pipe in. So this is our pipe installation. You'll see them lowering the pipe in and getting it together. Along with that, they'll do new fire hydrants throughout the neighborhood. They'll also do new service connections. We'll get those all brand new service connections up to your meters. And then we're going to backfill the trench. Some areas will be slurry, some areas it will be an AB thing. And we will, where needed, put temporary trench plates down. Not everyone will have a temporary trench plate, but we will put it where needed. Otherwise, we'll backfill the trench up to the pavement level with AB until we're ready to pave. And then you'll see us come back in and we'll do the trench paving. So we'll get the, put the trench, get it out, all the asphalt back in there from where we removed for the trench. We'll also do new water valves and manholes when needed. So you'll see setups like that because that will be a concrete ring around those valves. So we'll have some barricades around there to protect those. And finally, we're going to come back and we're going to do a slurry seal over the road. So you won't be able to tell where that trench line has been. So that's just a basic overview about what we're doing. This is a map showing, again, all the streets that we're doing for this project. Right now, for your neighborhood in particular, we're going to be starting on Encanto. And then we will be going down to Bonita, and it will be a counterclockwise movement that will go around in that circle and do Vista del Cerro last. We'll also be going through and we'll be putting out door hangers and staying to stay connected with everybody. So when you see us coming through, we'll put out door hangers for water interruptions because unfortunately we will have to turn the water off to the street when we connect to the main line. So once we are ready to do that, we'll put out the door hangers to everybody and let them know that, hey, we're going to come in, we're going to be turning off the water from this time to this time on this day. And then we'll come back after we've done the main line connection and we'll turn it, we'll do all the service connections and you'll get a second notice about that. That service connection is about a 30-minute shut off. We also go and knock on your door on that same day to let you know that we're about to do your service connection. So you'll get 2 notifications for that one. One will be an in-person knock on your door right before we do it. And one will be a door hanger beforehand letting you know that what day we're doing that on. So I believe we're going back to the construction team contacts is the next slide. So that's all of our contacts. Cliff, I don't know if there's anything you want to say.
Well, just to add what you're talking about there, Abby. What we do as the inspection team and like the engineering team overseeing the project, we make sure that all the materials that are in the design go in properly into the ground. It's a ductile iron pipe. We're replacing the cast iron pipe so it won't break anymore. And then we pressure test it and make sure it's all pressure tested and sanitized and bacteria tested. And that takes place about over a week. It takes about a week to pressure test it and bacteria test it to make sure it's clean and sanitized before we turn it back over and replace your meters and give you the new clean water. And that's our job to make sure that all the materials are right and that it's sanitized and pressurized properly before it's up and running. So that's how we can help with the project. And we also work on what's going to happen here, as Abby was saying, is several trucks, excavators, and equipment are going to descend on the neighborhood. And Laura may be talking about this a little bit also. So we're going to have to put up no parking signs. I don't know if you're going to talk about that, Abby, or not.
I was going to try and be a little psychic and guess the questions coming. There's a few of them that I'm going to answer, and so I'll jump back in real quick, Cliff.
Go ahead.
Some of our more frequent questions, and a few of your neighbors have already asked me because I was out on site walking around today. When it comes to access to your driveways, we'll start with that. We will always maintain access to your driveways. If you are on the street where the main line is going to be put in, so there's the trench right in front of your house, we will make sure that we have a trench plate when needed for you to get in and out of your driveway. We will also help you we will help get you in and out of your driveway. We'll help wave you in and out. What we ask is that if you know you're going to be coming out and you see us right in front of your driveway working, if you could come out and wave at us and get our attention so we know you'd like to leave, That way we can move all our equipment for you and get make sure you get in and out of your driveway. In general, we will help make sure you can get around all of our equipment when needed. Along with that, there are the no parking signs. Those signs went out on Encanto this today. They are listed as a no parking from Monday to Friday from, I want to say 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. I could be wrong on the hours, but they are posted on the no parking signs. Because of that, you can feel free to park in front of your house during the evening when we are not there working. We just need to make sure that you have moved your vehicle in the morning when we do start working. Along with that, the trash is another big one. I know everybody wants to know about how to get their trash and recycle. For everyone who uses the alleyways behind their houses, you don't have to worry. Your trash and recycle pickup will be the same as it always is. You just have to put it out there. We ask a little bit earlier or the night before to make things easier for us, because we're going to be asking the city to pick up your trash and recycling as early as possible. That way we know we can help get those trucks through the alley and out of the neighborhood without any issues with our equipment. If your recycle is picked up in front of your house, and I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's street have procedures, whether it's picked up in front or behind. We just ask that you put it out the night before so that, again, the trucks can come through first thing in the morning, pick up all the bins, and make sure that they can do all their pickups. We are more than happy to help move those bins in the morning out further if needed. We will move them for the truck drivers. You don't have to worry about that. If for some reason we've blocked it, we will make sure to, if we need to, that we'll move them to the other side of the driveway if needed. Along with that, as Cliff was saying, yes, there will come a point where we have to do all the water line testing. So it does look a little bit like we all just disappeared. We don't disappear. Once we put the main line in and the services to your meter boxes, we do the testing, as Cliff was saying. So you won't see us as much because we'll be at ends of the street doing all the testing, but we're still there. We just have to get all that approved before we can come in and do the connections. So I promise we haven't forgotten about anybody. If you don't see us for a few days and there's still a traffic control device in your yard, it just means that we're testing the water line. And once we're done, we're going to come back in and we will take our traffic control devices away, and we will put back together all the yards and all the any landscaping we disturb. We will make sure that we're putting back. Some of you will start to see Jacob. He's one of our superintendents out there. He's filming the driveways and the little piece of your property right in front where your service meters are, so that we know exactly what your yards look like before we start any work on your street. And that way we'll know what the yard needs to look like when we're done. I think I answered most of those questions. Is there anything that anybody, Cliff or Laura, that you can think of that I forgot?
No, I think you've covered it. I'm looking for questions right now. Nora just mentioned that the recycling is out on the street, and thank you, Nora, for that. I'm not seeing anything in the chat, but please raise your hand or type it in the chat if you'd like me to read it for you. Any concerns, questions? The key is to really pay attention to both the people on the street and the notifications we're sending to you, because you're going to get most of your information there. And if you ever have a question, please feel free to call any of the people on this slide. We will post this presentation to the website too, in case you lose it, or you don't have a postcard, or you forget who to call. We'll have that on the website. But definitely feel free to ask someone on the street if you see them coming your way. You can probably be assured they'll be there within a day or two. So, if you have things that you need to let us know, if you have some delivery coming, anything like that, please just let us know. You can call the hotline, you can call any of us. Any questions? Yes, from Ann. Ann, I did get your message. Ann's moving. She has a moving van coming March 11th. Ann lives over on Bonita. And so it says they'll be coming on weekends. Well, if you're on the weekends, we should be fine. I don't think we have any weekend work planned at this point.
We not have any weekend plans scheduled, but Anne, when it gets closer, if you want to get in touch with me, my number is on there. We'll go ahead and coordinate with you. If you need to, say, get the van there a day early, you want to get there on Friday, we'll make sure that we work with you so you have all the room you need to park anything you need.
Thanks, Abby. Thanks, Ann. Anyone else? How long do you anticipate the project will take in the University Estates neighborhood? And how long typically are you actively working in front of an individual house?
Well, so it's gonna sound a little scary. We're going to be there for about 4 months from start to finish, which I know sounds scary and like a long time, but in front of an actual individual house, it would be, we'll say, an hour for us to excavate and put in the main line right in front of your house. And then it takes a day to get the service across and ready for hookup. But we have to do the entire street's main line. It takes about a week to a week and a half to do every street's main line. And then it takes about 2 weeks each street to do all the services. And then, as Cliff was saying, it's another week and a half to 2 weeks for us to do all the testing and to do all the chlorination, the testing, washing out the line, and get everything ready for tie-overs. And then it takes another, we'll say, 2 days, give or take, to do all the paving. So for one street, it will take about 5 to 6 weeks. In front of your actual individual house, it will only be about 3 days of work. So I know that sounds like a long time for only 3 days in front of your house, but we do have it set up a lot. The Henry Ford assembly style, we do have it set up. We have one crew to do the main line, one crew to do the services or laterals, and then we have another crew that comes in and does the paving. So we try and keep that buttoned up. So, for example, Encanto is where we're starting first. Their street will be done and completed before everyone else's. So sorry, that's not a better answer.
But Abby, you're right. When you're working right in front of someone's driveway, it only will take 30 to 40 minutes to cross the driveway. And then if you need to get out, we can put a plate right over the top of the trench and you can back right out right safely right over the trench if you need to. Just come out and the crew's very ready to put a plate on to make sure you can get in and out. You never will be trapped inside your driveway, that's for sure.
Okay, we have another question, and it's not a dumb question despite what she says, but she asks, how noisy is the work, or what is the noisiest part of the work?
Very noisy.
There is a lot of noise with it. The noisiest aspects are going to be when we're doing the pipe installation. So the main line and laterals, because that's when we're actually cutting through the asphalt and you'll have our excavators removing the dirt. So you'll see our bigger equipment. So that's, I guess the good way to put it is we start out with the loudest portions and then we move towards the quieter ones. Paving is one of the louder things, and that's one of the last things we do. However, paving is also a lot quicker. We can move through a road a lot quicker with paving, so we're not there as long. We try our
But we don't start until 7 o'clock, right, Abby?
That is correct. We do not start until 7, and we try and get everything buttoned back up and packed up around 2:33. So that we're out of the way as well. So that way you don't have to worry about dinner with loud noises going on. We also try, if for some reason we have to come in at night, there are a few times we've had to come in and do some work at night. We try and do all the loud, noisy things in the day so that when we're there at night, you're not going to be able to really hear us.
Hopefully that answers your question. Anybody else? I'm looking here.
We do appreciate some cooperation with the no parking out in the neighborhood. It's an inconvenience, but it helps the project move faster if there's no cars parked in the no parking area. Sometimes we actually have to call a Tempe Police Department to come and move a car that either the people have forgotten or didn't know that it was a no parking area, and we have to actually tow the car away. So just be aware of that. And when we put up the no parking signs, don't park in there, and we'll get in, get out as soon as possible, pave it, and pull our no parking signs away, and then you can get back in there. But it will take a little while and some inconvenience.
Yes, so if you can help us get the word out on that, because it never fails. Somebody says they didn't see the postcard, they didn't know, they didn't understand what the posted signs were. So I don't know, if you see a street that has some cars on it and you happen to know the folks, help us out. We'd really appreciate it, because we don't want to tow anybody. We really don't. Anything else? Take another minute here. Not seeing any questions. Well, we thank everybody for coming and spending a little time with us. All of us here on the screen will have our contacts posted on the website, and you can call us anytime if you have a question. Thank you, everybody, for participating, and we'll see you in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Thank you, Abby.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
See you, Laura. I'm checking out.